Jack Ma and his companies are facing a crackdown from Chinese regulators after he made a speech in October last year, in which he severely criticized the market regulation system put in place in China and called the banks pawn shops, and castigated China's financial regulators for being obsessed with minimizing risk, and accused Chinese banks of behaving like pawn shops by lending only to those who could put up a collateral. According to a Forbes magazine article, the Jack Ma in his teens rode his bicycle for 40 minutes at 5 a.m. in the morning to an international hotel in his hometown and wait there for tourists who he approached them and proposed a deal wherein he would show them around the city as a tour guide, and in return they would teach him English. That was quite uncommon back in those days because Chinese were communist and they were anti-Americans. That's the kind of humble beginning the most Chinese and Indian billionaires have had. According to a Bloomberg video on Jack Ma, he applied for 30 jobs but got rejected every time. He then got a job at a local university where he taught English and earned $15 a month. Jack Ma got to witness the internet and its potential for the first time in 1995 during a US trip. After his return to China, he thought of building something which put China on the world's internet map. Jack Ma enjoyed good relations with the Chinese government for over 2 decades. Well, of course, he had good relations with the government. That's how he was allowed to grow. That usually happens in communist countries. When Donald Trump was elected US President in 2016, Jack Ma was the first high-profile Chinese he met with. Jack Ma founded Alibaba Group in June 1999 along with his wife. Initially, the platform allowed businesses to sell products to each other. Later, it became the Amazon of China, selling stuff directly to the consumers. In 2000, Alibaba raised $25 million from investors including Goldman Sachs and SoftBank. Alibaba and Jack Ma kind of owes their growth to SoftBank and Maersk San, who trusted Jack Ma when no one else did. Investment into Alibaba became the most rewarding investment for SoftBank. By the way, SoftBank been losing a lot on its massive investment in WeWork. Now, fast forward to 2014. Alibaba Group raised around $25 billion in the world's biggest initial public offerings then in 2014 and got listed in the New York Stock Exchange in the United States. After dominating the e-commerce industry in China, Alibaba expanded to other businesses as well, such as cloud computing, video streaming, movie productions, healthcare, sports, retail, news media, whatnot. He is basically the Mukesh Ambani of China, or Mukesh Ambani is the Jack Ma of India, whatever. Now, after the September speech of the Jack Ma slamming the Chinese bank, the Communist Party of China has done what it does the best. It started running propagandas against Jack Ma, like they are doing right now in India against industrialist Mukesh Ambani, who's losing money at the stock market due to an ongoing farmer protest. The public sentiment has soared, and Jack Ma has become the man people in China love to hate. According to the report, Jack Ma has been called a villain, an evil capitalist, and a blood-sucking ghost. Chinese officials have opened an antitrust investigation into Alibaba Group. At the same time, government officials continue to circle Ant Group, the fintech arm that Jack Ma had spun out of Alibaba. In November, China's market watchdog quashed Ant Group's planned blockbuster IPO, weeks after Jack Ma castigated Chinese financial regulators for being obsessed with minimizing risk and accused Chinese banks for behaving like pawn shops by lending only to those who could put up a collateral. On the morning that the Alibaba antitrust investigation was announced, 4 other regulatory agencies said that their official would meet up with Ant Group to discuss new supervision measures. The message is loud and clear. Don't fucking speak up against the communist government or you won't be able to bid yourself a nice farewell. Authoritarian rulers Vladimir Putin did the same thing with Russian oligarch and renowned billionaire Mikhail Khodorkovsky. This shows that authoritarian regimes world over have weak ears and strong arms.